Hello class, in this video we'll look at appending the files from Excel into Access, as well as creating relationships, building queries, building a form, and generating a report. So the first thing we're going to do is open up Access. Now you'll notice when you open up Access you have to make sure that you click this Enable Content button. If we look at the tables, these are all tables that have information. In fact, if we look at actor, that has nothing. If we look at Oscars, I've actually already pre-populated that data, so you don't have to do anything with that one. And then there's spouse data, and that'll be empty as well. So let's close all of these, and let's start working through our steps. So the first thing we want to do is append the actor's information into the actor table. We'll go to External Data, Excel, and then now we're going to browse to the location of where our Excel document's at. And once you do the first time this path, you'll be set. So now I'm just going to open up this file here, and then we're going to append it to a table. And this first one we're going to append actors, and this only has the two tables in there only. So I took all the other all the other worksheets out from the last workbook that you saw on the video, and there's only two in here. For this one, since we're importing appending actors, you have to make sure that the actors 2 and F is selected. We'll click Next. It'll automatically know that the first row contains headings. We'll click Next and then just say import it into Actor. Okay, and then hit Close. And then now if we look in Actor, all that data is going to be there. So let's now do the same thing for spouse. So we're going to go to Excel. This time the path is in there. We just have to select the folder. And then we're going to this time append to spouse. Make sure you're appending the spouse. We'll click OK. We have to make sure we do the spouse worksheet, and you'll see that information changes. We'll click Next. We'll click Next. And we'll click Finish. All right, so now we have all of our information in our tables, and the next step, what we have to do is create a relationship. If we go into Database Tools and then Relationships, we're going to add each of our tables. Then now we have to do our relationships. Because actor ID is going to be shared with both of these two, I'm going to just rearrange these out and it'll be much cleaner. So to create the relationship, we said we're going to take actor ID over into Oscar. So now we're taking the primary key in actor and linking that to the actor ID foreign key in Oscar. And make sure you also check the Enforce Referential Integrity button. We'll create this. And then we're going to do the same thing going from actor table over to actor ID foreign key in spouse. And you'll see actor ID, actor ID. And then we're going to do Enforce Referential Integrity and click Create. At this point in time, now all of our data is linked together as if it's in one table. And we'll prove that when we go to our next step and create a query. So when we close it, it's going to ask us to save this. So now let's create a query. This is step 3. So we're going to create, I find on queries, I like to do the query design better than the query wizard. So let's do query design. And then we're going to select each of these tables. And then you'll notice that when we select the tables, it'll automatically show the relationships we have. So let's add actor as one of the fields we're going to display. So you can simply double click actor, We'll double click date of birth, double click born, year one, actor role, movie. So we're essentially selecting everything here except for the primary and foreign keys. Once we have this, let's save our query, and let's call this step 3A. That'll make it much easier and for me to grade, and it's what the directions are based on, you following that protocol. So we'll click OK, and now if we click run, take a look at this. Meryl Streep, date of birth. I'm going to highlight all these guys right here and then double click. Okay, if we look at this table now, this is going to look exactly like if we open up our first normal form. Let's see. If we look at first normal form and compare this, let me take this down here. Then we see Meryl Streep, date of birth, born, year one, actor role, movie, and spouse. So the magical thing about this is we went from this table into these disparate parts. We glued them together through a relationship and we're able to come up with the same exact information. So that's the real power of relational databases, is being able to normalize it, have it in its particular chunks and components, and then link it all back together. That's really exciting, or at least I think it's really exciting. All right, so we completed step A, and let's go on to step 3B. So an easy way to do this is you can copy. If we right click and copy, now we can paste, and instead of having to redo the query all over again, we could reuse previous queries. So on this one, let's call this step 3B and click OK. And then now let's open up step 3B in design view. On this step, we're going to look for movies for the movie Whiplash. So to do this, down in Access, if we look at movie, we want to look up the movie that has Whiplash. Or the other way you can do it, and then you hit return, or the other way to do this is you could do whip star, and this creates a wildcard, meaning you're going to look for the first four letters of whip, and any movie that has whip as the first four letters is going to pull up. So hit return, and the second you do that, Access will automatically add like, and if you don't have the double quotes in there, it'll add the double quotes. And now when we run, we're going to see that only one movie came up, Whiplash. So this is very similar to when you're registering for classes in course schedule at the San Diego Community College District. You'll say, I want this class, or maybe I want this day, and you'll do these queries. So this is really cool and things you do on a daily basis. All right, so let's look at doing a query, another query. So we're going to make a copy of 3A. So make a copy. We'll paste this in, and then let's call this one step 3C. Okay, and on this one, we're going to go into design view, and we want to look at the people that won from the time frame between 1993 and 2011. So on this one, it would be year one, and Access is smart enough for us to just say between 1993 and 2011. Seems kind of crazy that I could do that, but it's smart enough to go figure this out. Now if we run, here are the movies that won between those times. So we can see that we have Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks in 1993 and 1994. If we wanted to, we could have gone in design view, and let's say year one, let's put this in ascending order. So that's going to start off with the lowest number and go to the highest number. And now if we do run, we'll see 1993, then 1994, then 2011. So I just want folks in the class, students in the class, to get a feel for how these queries work, because we're doing this on a daily basis. Anytime you go to Amazon and go search for something to purchase, or any store you're shopping at, this is exactly what you're doing, is formulating a query. All right, so let's again copy step 3A. We're going to copy and then paste. We're going to call this step 3D. And let's open this up in Design View. And this time what we want to do is we're going to delete all the columns except for actor, date of birth, and born. So we have actor, date of birth, and born. So I'm just going to highlight all these and then hit the delete key. Then that deletes everything. And then let's look for persons that were born after January 1st, 1955. So we're going to say born, and for us to say after or on January 1st, 1955, we'll do greater than or equal to. Since this is a date, we're going to put the hashtags around this. And that means date and access. So we're saying it's a date field. So if we do this, okay, and now if we run our query, we're going to see, oh actually, let me see, something went wrong there. Design View. Oh, I put that on born versus date of birth. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm just going to copy this and put this over to date of birth. And now if I run this, we had the... Alright, so let's start this all over again. Let's say greater than or equal to hashtag 1/1/1955. Hashtag. And now let's hit run. So when we do this, we're going to see that we come up with 2 Tom Hanks, because this is based on this query of 3A that had 2 entries for Tom Hanks. A way to fix this is to go into step 3D, and then we'll go back into Design View, and we have this Totals button that has a segment, so it's right up here in the upper right. We're going to click Totals, and this is going to automatically, you're going to see we have a new total, and this is going to group by these dates. So when we do this, it's basically going to only look for unique entries. So now when we click Run, we're only going to see 2. We're going to see J.K. Simmons and Tom Hanks, because Meryl Streep was born in 1949, and that is before, not after, January 1st, 1955. All right, so let's go on step 3E. So we're going to make a copy again of 3A. So we're going to copy and then paste. And then we're going to call this step 3E. Okay, and then let's go back into Design View. And this time the only thing we want to see is actor and spouse. So let me do this. And then I'm just going to highlight this and hit delete. So now the only 2 buttons we have are actor and spouse. And we want to see the person that's married to Rita Wilson. So you can type out Rita Wilson, or I'm going to do Rita star. I'm going to hit enter. And then now if we hit run, we're going to see that Tom Hanks is married to Rita Wilson. Again, on this one, we see duplicates. So if we go back into Design View, if we click on Totals, we'll see the group by. And now if we hit run, we're going to see Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. So let's do one more query. And this time we're going to set ourselves up for the query we're going to use to generate a report in a couple of other steps. So let's copy this and paste it. And then we're going to call this step 3F. All right, let's go into design view. And on this one, what we want to do is we're going to delete the field. So all we have is actor, year one. So let me take out these two. Actor, role, and movie. And that means we're also going to remove spouse. All right, so you should have actor, year one, actor, role, and movie. And right now, we're just going to save this one. And then now we can close right here. So this will ask us, we've made changes on the layout. So we'll say yes for all these. If you wanted to, for each query, you can close and save along the way, but I just chose to do it there. All right, so when you're looking at the class schedule to come up with your courses, you don't look at that raw data field, you look at a form. So what I'd love to do is you get exposure to making forms. So to do this, let's create a form, and we're going to use the form wizard. So click create. We're going to do form wizard. And on our form wizard, we're going to select actor, date of birth, and born from the actor table. This popped up into query. So what we want to do is go into this drop down and do table actor instead. And now we basically want to get actor, date of birth, and born. Do not copy over the primary key. And then we also want to have year one and movie from the Oscars table. So we're going to click our down arrow. We're going to go to Oscars. And we're going to do year one and movie. Okay. Once you do this, then we're going to select the next key. And then we want to view the actor, view data by actors with the form with subforms radio button checked. Then we're going to select next. Make sure this you keep the default of data sheet. And then we're going to select next. And then accept all of the defaults here. And we're going to click finish. So once you do this, Access is going to create a form within another form. So this is kind of exciting in the fact that we have Meryl Streep, the date of birth, and when she was born, and then within that, we have the year one and the movie for all of her Oscars. If we wanted to, we could go down to the bottom on our records. We can go to record 2, and now we go to Tom Hanks, and we can see that within the Oscar subform, in 1993, he won for Philadelphia. In 1994, Forrest Gump. Another way to do this is if we could just go down here and search. So we know another actor out there is J.K. Simmons. So if we just type out Simmons or J.K., you'll see that this automatically started pulling up this actor information. So if I do J.K., that's going to pull up J.K. Simmons. If we do Meryl, that's going to pull up Meryl Streep. Hanks, that's going to pull up Tom Hanks. So this is a really convenient way to look through the our database. Also, you can, if you wanted to add a new record, you see this little arrow with this box on it, and that creates a new blank record. And that would create a blank record for an actor, and at that time you can put in the year one as well as the movie. All right, so that's all we're going to do on our actor form. So let's close on this one, and now let's do our final step. Let's make a report. So we're going to go into Create. We're going to do our report wizard. And then this time we're going to select Query 3F. On this one, we're going to accept all these fields. So you can either individually select them, or if you're going to do all fields, you can hit this double right arrow, and that moves all of them at one time. We're then going to click Next. And in the next screen, we're going to select next. And then on this one, let's group this by actor's role. So we're going to click actor role, and then we're going to click this right arrow, and we're going to see now we're going to have this by actor, then by their actor role, and the year one in the movie. Then we're going to select next. And then let's say we want to sort these records, and let's do it by year one in ascending order. Then we're going to click next. And then on this one, keep stepped. On this step, it's very important. Go click landscape. This makes the form look much better and gives you more real estate. And then after you do this, you're going to click next. You can leave this report as actor. And we'll click finish, and voila, we have J.K. Simmons. And then we have by the actor role, Best Supporting Actor, 2014 Whiplash. We have Meryl Streep, and remember, we broke this down by actors' roles. So for Best Actor and Actress, she won 2, and we said year 1 and ascending order. So that's why this has 1982, then 2011, and then she won Best Supporting Actor Actress for 1979 Kramer versus Kramer. Then we have Tom Hanks, Best Actor, and then here's the 2 movies he won, Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. So at this point in time, we'll close this, and then you'll save. So the thing on databases is that each and every step your document has been saving. So all you have to do now is hit File, and then Close, and then now we can close out. And then this, you might get a message that's saying you have some things on the clipboard. Do you want to continue? Say yes. And then at this point in time, you just simply have to post a copy of your Access database in Blackboard for grading. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any questions, by all means, please let me know. All right, thank you. Goodbye.